Hello and welcome to an international discussion on the Creative Society platform. My name is Olga and my co-host today is Dr. Anita Kulkarni. And before introducing our special guests, we would like to announce an important worldwide event that you cannot miss. On May 7th, an unprecedented event will take place, the International Online Forum, Global Crisis, We Are People, We Want to Live, where volunteers and experts from around the world will voice the truth about the current state of affairs in the world. Speakers will truthfully and objectively inform humanity about the increasing danger of climate and environmental disasters, as well as consider practical solutions to overcome all the crises by building the creative society. Together, we can make sure that the truth is heard by the whole world. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and most importantly, share information about the forum with all the people you know, because our future depends on the action of every single person today.
Yeah, today we have a discussion about the previous conference that took place on December 4, 2021, Global Crisis, Time for the Truth, where multiple topics were covered, including the reasons why climate change continues despite of international agreement intended to curb climate change and why the creative society is our only solution. Now coming to today's session, I am happy to introduce our today's guest, Dr. Seema Negi, Global Goodwill Ambassador, Director Principal of Sanjeevani World School, Dusya Lyubovskaya, Ambassador of Thorium Network, MECI-Group International. Welcome.
Welcome. And we would like to start with the main topic raised at the conference, which is climate disasters and how we as a society are doing nothing yet to prepare, but to prevent people's losses due to the climate events that are happening worldwide. Currently, the final steps of the preparation for the May 7th forum are already taking place today. And what are we doing during these months of preparation? Well, first of all, interviews with scientists, specialists, and hundreds of people around the world who have been affected by the natural disasters. And right now, we would like to show one such interview that we have done.
I witnessed everything that was happening in my region. It was a real catastrophe because more than 260 millimeters of rain fell in just 2 hours. So it was the average monthly norm. So at the moment, I'm fine. But at the time of the catastrophe, I was without electricity and without water for several days. But other people lost their houses, and many of them lost loved ones. As soon as the rain stopped, I saw a lot of people crying. That's when I realized that there had been several landslides that buried many people in that city. It was really something terrible. I would describe it as a war situation. Our enemy, the climate, is wiping out entire islands from the face of the earth, killing children in cold blood. And what are we doing? How much longer are we going to do nothing? In the center of the city, for example, it was raining so hard that in 10 to 15 minutes, the rivers overflowed and swept away buses full of passengers, cars with drivers inside, carrying people away. Like in typical apocalypse movies. In my opinion, the rescue team took too long to arrive because the whole city was damaged. We were isolated without food or water, and we were rescued by motorcycle couriers, which are guys who use motorcycles for deliveries. So people started to act themselves People set an example of 1000% unification when something has already happened. Let's unite before trouble comes to our house. This will save people's lives. Find out more at the forum.
Thank you. Thank you. And, this is very hard to see. And as you noticed, too, there was a woman on the balcony that was just doing her normal domestic things in the video. And she just didn't even expect the flood to come. But unfortunately, the flood did come and it swept the whole street. And we see how fast the natural disasters are taking over the whole areas of land, and how help does not come in time, and how there is no alarm. People are not aware of what's happening worldwide today, and how these disasters can come anywhere at any point, and we won't even know that they're happening until they're already at our doorstep. And also, just last week, and this is not all the events, we know that a sudden snowfall fell in Italy and Spain. There was flash floods and landslides in Brazil, Colombia, South Africa, Dominican Republic, tornado in Malaysia. There was an earthquake in New Zealand, Indonesia, Coral Sea, Solomon Islands, Philippines, Tonga, a typhoon, Malaccas, and that has approached the Japanese islands. And all of this happened just last week. And this is not even all the events that are happening. These are only just a few. And Dr. Negi, we see that we are not ready for what is to come, but we can't prepare because the majority of people do not see the global picture of all the crisis. Could you please share how can we wake up the majority and raise the alert today?
So, Olga, the picture that you presented just now, the stats that you have given about last week only. So, if we see last week itself, we have seen so much of disaster. Now, this disaster is week by week, it is approaching us. And what we wait for is we wait for it to come to our doorstep, and then we think, yes, it's the time to take action. But as you rightly said, we need to take action before it approaches us. So what we need to do together as human race is, are we really committed to save the human race? So, this is what keeps me very close to Creative Society, because Creative Society's vision is that human life is of the highest value. So when we together understand that human life has the highest value, all our actions, our deeds should be in sync with that. Nature gives us so much. Why nature becomes so ferocious? Why nature then come back to take our lives? Have we ever thought about it? We speak about sustainable living. We speak about sustainable development goal. But are we playing our part? My urge to everyone who is listening to us today, all we need to do is start with our own self. We need to start taking action. We cannot tell the world to take the action if we are not doing the same. So if we can start with the simplest thing, like segregating our waste properly, wet and dry waste, if we can start with planting more trees, if we encourage our children to be more eco-sensitive, if small things like what we need to throw in the water bodies and what we are not supposed to throw, if we just take small action, if each one of us commit or take a pledge that from today itself we will start taking those actions which are in our own capacity. If I do something that is in my own capacity, then I move towards my society and say, okay, let's together do it. Then I move further and I make a community who then together does it, then a country, then the entire world. Ultimately, each one of us needs to understand that human life is of the highest value. If that noble thought is there with us, I think then we will start working towards it. But sometimes what happens is when a disaster takes place, after that we wake up and we think that, yes, we have to take the action now. But that fizzles out after, say, just few days. That should not happen. Our actions towards the climate should be consistent. The more consistency will be there, the better the world will become, because every time we need to remind ourselves that we have not inherited this planet from our ancestors. We have borrowed it from our children. We have to leave a better planet for our children. And that is what I feel. Let's do it together, our own bit. And if everybody does this together, definitely nature will be safe and we will be safe in nature.
Thank you, Dr. Negi, for your valuable sharing. Dusya, I would like to ask you, what are the reasons that you believe humanity needs the creative format more than ever today? What are your views?
Thank you for the question. The reason is I think strongly about the future of our children. And I believe that our children, like right now, most people, we're thinking about, okay, what is happening today? What's happening tomorrow? But when you think about what's happening right now with these floods and what happened, for example, in Australia, like this was 2 years ago, it's important. We have to think about the future of our children. We were children as well. We forget this a lot when we're adults. We forget, what was like when I was a child? What did I want when I was a child? And I always think about what do children want right now? What our grandchildren want? What's the best? We need a better future for our children, a better future for everybody. The next, let's say, 2 generations to come. We need health. We need so many things that we need for our future. And we are today here to build a better life for our children, and our children, of course, they will continue our work. But we all thinking about what can we do now to prevent what's happening from happening in the future. And we have to think about, okay, what kind of world do we want our children to live? What would we want if we were children? And I don't really know what else to share, but that's just my perspective. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. It is very important today to alert people about the current situation, because natural forces strike unexpectedly, as we saw, and bring devastation. And to a large extent, it's because we don't know the real cause, and we can't predict climate events in time. And why is that? Because we don't have open information, and technologies are not accessible for all people, and scientists do not have conditions to investigate the real cause of extreme climate events. And every day spent without unification, without the creative society, costs us an unbelievable price, which is human lives. And Dusya, could you please also share, we can see that the climate disasters are growing and intensifying, and they affect us all. And could you please share, what are your thoughts about the climate crisis that are increasing worldwide, and the fact that we are not prepared? What can we do?
You see, when I'm in the science field as well, and when people say that there's no climate crisis, I just think you're seeing the Arctic melting. You're seeing these wildfires happening around the world. There's so many things happening in our in the climate. There's so many catastrophes happening that you can't say that climate change is not happening. And what we can do about it is, scientists are. I am studying science, and in the science field, our goal of the science is to study what is happening, find out what's causing this climate change. And obviously it's pollution, like pollution's happening, our health, we're not taking care of our health, we're not doing much right now. There's people are not really informed, like, what can we do to stop climate? What can we do to stop pollution? What can we do to stop the wildfires? What can we do to save our lives or make this world better? What can we do to stop what is happening right now? And I know that we see statistics, we see there's so many pictures out there, but you have to look at the exact statistics. What's happening there? Is it for example, I was the Thorium network, and we're focused on, okay, what's happening in the air for us. People have so many health issues. They have, there's like people with asthma. There's so many, all these issues that are making us sick are making our planet sick. And our planet is like a planet is like a person Like anytime we have a wildfire, anytime we have a climate problem, it's our planet saying, I am sick, I need help. And we have to look at our planet as a little child, for instance, or as a person who's saying we're not able to say they're sick, but when we have these storms and whatnot, that's our planet saying we need help. And what we can do about it is study what is happening and how to prevent it. It can be anything. It can be improving science. It can be using improved technology, science technology, improved technology to help prevent fires and climate issues from happening, to help our planet so that we won't have all these incidents. As we say, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. And Dr. Negi, we know that you have participated in multiple conferences, and not only as a guest, but you have also hosted multiple discussions and multiple roundtables on the Creative Society platform as well. Could you please share, why do you believe the need of the Creative Society is more urgent today than ever?
Lovely question. And I think Creative Society is what that keeps us connected to each and every individual. We are not just dreaming about a world wherein we believe in the phrase that I am because we are. For us, togetherness matters. For us, every human life matters. Creative Society gives you the opportunity for human freedom, and that is what we want. At the end of the day, each and every human, they want that freedom because we are born with that freedom. It provides the kind of safety that each one of us wants for their family, for their own self. So me as an educator would definitely like to train the young minds or teach my children that human life is very important. It is important to have freedom, human safety. I mean, everybody needs safety. Isn't this something that we all look for? Ultimately, we want ourselves to be safe and our family to be safe. And Olga, I think you were also talking about the information. I mean, these days we know information is available to everyone, but is it really transparent? Are we really open to share the information, or only the information which we want that it should reach to the larger audience that is coming, and rest of the information is still behind the curtain? So openness of information, when you see all the 8 principles of foundation of Creative Society, you just don't think of an ideal society, but you know that you are creating a place for yourself wherein you would like to live. Maybe we might not be able to see that kind of place, but at least we can start working and create that place for our children to come. That should be our mindset, though definitely I wish that we will also live in that place that we are creating for our own self. If that becomes the ecosystem, if we see that kind of synergy from each and every corner of the world, trust me, Creative Society is not very far off. And all the 8 principles and foundation of Creative Society are doable. It's not something that we have, that the principles are there and you can't do it. You can't pass it to your children, to other generation, or you can't be a part of that. Everything is doable, implementable. The only thing that is needed is we need to get started. And I already see that this movement is already started. There are lakhs and lakhs of people who are joining it because they believe in it. So if I do not believe in it, or I did not have the faith in this, I wouldn't have been here again and again and again. But every time I am there because I believe in this. And the educator in me feels that, yes, I can take it to my school, I can take it to multiple schools. And my children, my school children, are following a lot of principles of Creative Society, a lot of foundation. And they have, like during pandemic also, we had certain projects which were based on these foundation. But yes, it was all online. It was pandemic. Now things are opening up, and I am looking forward for more mindful collaboration wherein our children will understand why it is so important to create this world, so that together we can live in peace and harmony. And it won't be just a talk. It will be something wherein each one of us will be equal. I mean, because it talks about everything. If you will get me started on all the 8 foundation, I think I will not stop. So I'll give a pause here.
Sure.
Thank you, Dr. Negi. You're absolutely correct, because this creative society is a project of all humanity. And today we know that more than 99% want to live in the creative society where human life is of the highest value and where the 8 foundations are implemented. And of course, it's so, it's so joyful that already today millions of people know about this, and they see that creative society is our solution, our only solution to get us out of this dead end of this consumer format of society. And right now, since we're on the topic of unification, let's watch a short video about a little boat.
Humanity, various races, nationalities, religions, but we are all sailing in the same boat in this ocean of life. At the course of all-absorbing consumerism, which our common ship has taken today, is leading us to precipice. Just a little longer, and we will irreversibly fall into the abyss of economic, social, and climate catastrophes. Perhaps someone doesn't want to see and admit obvious facts, yet being afraid to turn around and see the reality. In the endless rush, in the ordinary everyday routine, in the race for success and survival in this world of consumerism. But every day, more and more people stop and ask themselves these questions. Where is this world coming to? What does the future hold for me and my children? How can I make sure that the world will be a safe, happy, and prosperous place? After all, no matter how successful you are, if the whole world is falling apart, there is no way you can avoid a bitter fate. We can change the course of our ship, which is speeding into the abyss, and instead of the abyss of consumption, steer it in the direction of the creative society. But we can do this only together. We need to unite our collective human potential, become a united civilization, and row in one direction. Uniting in a common goal, we need to direct our attention, our efforts, our knowledge, and our skills to charting a new course. And how quickly we can do this depends on the choice of each person. Our salvation is only in our unity. Only by working together can we build a truly decent world. A world that will have a future for us and our children. And that is the creative society. We still have a chance. So let's take it.
I like it. That video really does show how we all need to pick up our, oars and start rowing in away from the consumer format of society towards the creative society. And Dr. Negi, as you know, the Creative Society is a platform that hosts global conferences and forums in over 100 languages to provide as much information as possible about the problems we're facing today in our consumer society. And in your opinion, as an educator, how beneficial would it be to have a platform that unites educators from all over the world in order to solve and improve certain aspects of education?
So I think it's a big responsibility on our shoulder, and we have to willingly take this responsibility, because the end goal is we all want to live in this kind of society, right? Creative society wherein each individual is valued. And at the same time, we all know that for various things, we might have plan A or plan B. But when we talk about our planet, we just have this planet. We don't have any planet B to go and live. So as an educator, it is our prime responsibility to ensure that our children are aware of this kind of tomorrow. They are aware of the disaster happening. They are aware of the disaster happening because of us only. It's we human who are the creator of this disaster. Okay, nature is just showing the ferociousness, or nature is just trying to shake us up. Let's see, this is what you have given to me and I'm trying to give you back. So it is our collective and individual responsibility to preserve what needs to be preserved, to take actions, the actions which are not just spoken on these kind of platform, but which are implementable. So what I like most about these discussions is we are not discussing something which cannot be implemented. We discuss about the real solutions to various situations, and that is why these platforms are so very important, because sometime an idea that I get from, say, you, that idea might not come to me, and that idea might turn out to be the key factor in my teaching learning process to my children about how we can preserve this planet, how we can save this planet. So it is very important to have these kind of platforms, these kind of open discussions, open dialogues, wherein we have people from various genres, from various walk of life, who are sharing their experience and who are also becoming a guiding light for others, so that we can actually implement the solutions which are discussed.
Thank you. Yes. And, actually, we have really good news to share, because recently on the Creative Society platform, a scientific community was formed, and you can see its page on the creativesociety.com. It's an independent platform organized by volunteers of the Creative Society project from over 180 countries, with the support of scientists, researchers, professionals, and experts, in order to unite scientific potential with a single goal of identifying the true cause of climate change that are not related to human activity, searching for solutions, and providing the general public with truthful information about the processes that are taking place on the planet. So we encourage all our viewers to check it out on the creativesociety.com platform. And if you are a scientist and researcher, and these are topics that are close to you, you're more than welcome to write us an email, and we would love to have you join the team of scientists. So, and also, I know we touched a little bit about the 8 foundations of the Creative Society. Dr. Negi, you started talking about them. And right now, we can actually take a look at the 8 foundations. If we have them, we can see them on the screen. And these foundations represent the wants and the desires of all people in the world. And the way they were put together was, for over a decade, people from all over the world, millions of volunteers, were interviewing people to ask them, how do you like to live? How do you envision the world where you yourself, your family, and your loved ones would live a happy life, a prosperous life, a safe life? And based on the answers that we received, millions of answers, the 8 foundations of the Creative Society were formed. So we know that these foundations represent the wants and the needs of people all over the world. And it is so important today that all people know about them, that they realize that these foundations exist, and they can also join the Creative Society. And now, Dusya, maybe you can say, what was your first reaction after reading the 8 foundations when you found out about the Creative Society, and how they can help us to deal with the issues in our society today?
Thank you for the question, Olga. I was greatly impressed when I saw the 8 foundations of the Creative Society. I thought, this is amazing. Like, these are the basic foundations for every human being wanting to feel safe, wanting to have a great education. Like, there's so many things. Like, all these foundations are are basis of living a wonderful life, of living a fulfilling life. And the Creative Society is helping with that. I personally find it amazing. I'm in deep awe of Creative Society, because Creative Society is all about humanity, about all living a wonderful life, all living to our greatest potential. And I'm just deeply in awe of it. And I love the 8 foundations, and I would want to encourage people to live by them if they haven't heard that, just to read them. And even if you are thinking about, okay, how can I improve this world? How can I improve life for future generations, for children, and talk to children about the 8 foundation? Just looking at the website and just introducing everybody to the Creative Society, it's absolutely amazing. I love it. It's beautiful. I'm just in complete awe. And that's so much for it's like the basic foundation to help our entire world. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and I absolutely agree. This is the only solution that we have today in order to get our society out of the crisis that it's facing. So it's very important to share about the Creative Society Project. And as you know, on May 7th, 2022, at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, which is 15 GMT, there's going to be a international online forum called Global Crisis. We are people. We want to live. And this large-scale unprecedented event was organized thanks to an independent unification of millions of people from over 180 countries on the Creative Society platform. It will be broadcast around the world on tens of thousands of channels and social media platforms. And this event is initiated and implemented purely on voluntary basis by people's efforts and resources. And during the forum, a lot of different questions will be brought up, a lot of issues that we have today, because the purpose of the forum is to truthfully and objectively inform humanity about the increasing danger of climate and environmental disasters, to reflect the real scale of the multiple crises of the consumerist format of society, and to consider practical solutions to overcome all the crises by building the Creative Society. And as we mentioned earlier, we are currently taking interviews and have been for the past months with researchers, scientists, and people from all over the world in order to have the facts available at the conference so that we can all see the real global picture of what's truly going on. And Dr. Negi and Dusya also, could you please share with our viewers why it is so important for all people to attend the upcoming forum, which will take place on May 7th?
So,
maybe Dr. Negi.
Yes, thank you, Olga. This is one question I think is very, very important, and everyone needs to be a part of this, because at the end of the day, everyone wants to stay or want to live happily, peacefully, wherein they are valued, their life is valued. Okay, for that, it is important to come together. We have seen that collaboration is the only way. Pandemic has taught us this. Pandemic has taught us that till the time we will not take action, nothing will happen. Nothing happens if we are just sitting and deliberating. It happens when we come together. So I really want to thank Creative Society that you have opened the channels for discussion. Now discussion, we are not just talking. You spoke about how scientists are coming and they are working on the solutions. So this is it. There is no other solution. They have worked on it. Millions and millions of people have come together. They have worked on it and they know it can be done. It is doable. All of us can live in the kind of society that we are deliberating about today. All that is needed is come, join us, be a part of this movement. Till the time you will not join us, till the time you will not taste what Creative Society is, you might not be able to know the power of it. So power lies in our hand. Come together and be a part of this power, which will change the world for you and for me.
Thank you, Dr. Negi and Dusya. Also, maybe you can share with our viewers why this event, this forum is so important and why everyone should join.
Yes, I wholeheartedly agree with Dr. Negi. Creative Society is a forum where everybody gets together, scientists, and whatnot, and we all get together as a community to discuss solutions, talk about the problems, how we can resolve them together as a community, and where we can learn from each other and build a foundation for the future. So yes, I totally agree with Dr. Negi. We work together, create ideas, and just have a conversation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for both being with us. Thank you so much for talking about the most important topics today, because as we mentioned throughout this whole international discussion, only together can we find the solutions, and only together can we build the world that we all want to live in. And today, the future depends on every single person. And this is so important that all the people today really, really, truly matter. And all those people that say, well, I don't have a voice, it's not true, because today, the future, our future, depends on whether or not we all come together. So thank you so much for being with us today. It is a really pleasure that we could connect everyone on this one platform and to talk about what's really important. And again, to our viewers, we would like to invite everyone to attend the International Online Forum, Global Crisis. We are people. We want to live. Don't be indifferent. Your choice decides the fate of our entire civilization. Join us and spread the word, and join the ranks of the true heroes that are speaking up today. And we really hope to see you on May 7th at 15 GMT, and it's 11 a.m. Eastern Daytime. Thank you so much, Dr. Negi and Dusya, for being with us today. I think Dr. Anita, something happened to her camera, so we don't see her right now. But we'll see you again next time. Thank you.